Hello fellow cinema lovers. Today I have some amazing French films to talk about, all of which have been released by Picture House on Blu-ray here in the UK, including the very latest, The Taste of Things, which I absolutely adored. So I'm going to be talking about this and 4 other French films in this video. If you want to buy any of these discs after listening to me talk about them, you can use the links in the description of the video, which help support the channel at no additional cost to you, so I thank you if you do so. So, The Taste of Things, directed by Tran Anh Hung, who won the Best Director Award at Cannes Film Festival last year, and it is thoroughly deserved because this is a stunning film. The story follows this cook played by Juliette Binoche, who has worked alongside this gourmet chef played by Benoit Magimel for over 2 decades. Over this time they have grown a very strong bond and a romance, and the gourmet chef wants to marry this cook, but she doesn't want to marry him. So he decides that he wants to cook for her for the very first time to show how much that she means to him. And that is the basic story of this film, which might not sound all that too riveting, just people cooking for one another, but this really is such an effective and moving piece of cinema. It is absolutely up there with the best food films ever made, such as Babette's Feast or Tampopo, etc. Every element of the filmmaking here is working in unison to create such an authentic experience of what it feels like to cook and prepare meals, and to also have meals prepared for you. A lot of this film is set in this great kitchen where there is so much energy, so much movement, some careful precision going into every meal that's prepared. And a key element to this film is the sound design, because every sound of every pot and pan and things clinking against one another and the sound of food being swirled in a bowl, all of this adds to this sublime experience, and you feel like you're there. You feel like you are watching this food being made, and the film made me very, very hungry. That is one thing I will say. Don't watch this on an empty stomach because you will greatly regret it. And I will say that this film has changed my life because it has made me now want to cook more than I have ever wanted to cook before. I consider myself quite a reasonable cook, but because I am lazy, I don't experiment as often as I should. I don't learn any new recipes. I just make the same things over and over again. And this film really changed that for me. It showed me that cooking and meals and food is much more than just an energy source. It is an art form in and of itself, and you don't even have to be some expert chef to take part in that art form and that enjoyment. So of course you can tell that I love this film, and I highly, highly recommend it to anyone who is a fan of world cinema. This Picture House Blu-ray came out this week, so you can grab this right now. Unfortunately, there are no special features on here beyond a trailer, so I wish there was more stuff to consume after watching the film. However, there's lots of stuff online that you can search, interviews with the directors and the actors, etc. So a great film. Please do check this one out. The next French film that I would like to recommend to you, also available from Picture House on a Blu-ray, is the film Paris Memories, or Revoir Paris, directed by Alice Vinocourt. In this film we follow the character of Mia, played by Virginie Efira. She is a survivor of a terrorist attack, and this film is all about her coping with the post-traumatic stress disorder of being in such an attack and surviving, meeting with the other survivors of the attack, and because her memory of the event isn't 100%, she is trying to piece together exactly what happened. And there is a bit of friction here between her and one of the other survivors, because she is accused of hiding and locking herself in the toilet and letting other people die when she could have helped them. And on top of this, she is trying to track down this complete stranger who she spent time with during the event, and she knows nothing about this person, but as her memory comes back to her over time, she pieces things together to try to find this person. So suffice to say, this is not a cheery story. This is a very serious drama, which is sadly inspired by real events that happen around the world, these things sadly occur. And I think it's a very powerful film with a great central performance, very moving at times, and at times there are scenes that even verge into horror film territory because of how they are directed, and I think it's very well done. So while it isn't a cheery, light-hearted film, I thoroughly recommend it. And you can get the Picture House Blu-ray, though again, unfortunately, no special features. The next film I want to talk about is Smoking Causes Coughing. This is an absolutely crazy film about this group of superheroes known as the Tobacco Force who protect the Earth from evil bad guys who want to destroy Earth. This will almost certainly be the weirdest superhero film you have ever seen, and we wouldn't expect anything less coming from Quentin Dupieux, Monsieur Oiseau, and it is absolutely brilliant. It has a strange structure to it because while we follow the Tobacco Force, we also get told these stories as they tell each other these weird and crazy stories which have nothing to do with the main events of the film, but they're just so weird, and I absolutely loved it. So that's Smoking Causes Coughing, a really brilliant, funny superhero film on the Picture House Blu-ray, which again, no special features, unfortunately. Then we have The Night of the 12th, directed by Dominic Mole. This is a murder investigation story which begins after this young girl is set on fire and killed when she's walking home late at night. A police investigation begins into what has happened here, interviewing all of the people that were in her life. And as time goes on and the trail begins to go a bit cold on this case, we really see how it affects the police officers who are working on this, because they want answers as much as anyone else. I had a great experience watching this one, a brilliant film. And my reading into this one is that it is saying something about our modern day obsession with murder and true crime, and how we are looking for answers even when there is no answer to something. Perhaps also a commentary on conspiracy theory and how people will just not let go certain obsessions. So there we have The Night of the 12th. A really great modern French film. Again, sadly no special features. That's a common occurrence across all of these Picture House Blu-rays, unfortunately. And then let's talk about Vortex from Gaspar Noé. This is his latest film, which is sort of a departure from what he has done in the past. If you don't know the director, his work tends to be very provocative. He goes to places where many other directors would not go, even inside the human body, during sex, things like that. Vortex, however, is something different because we follow this elderly couple as the wife struggles with dementia, and how this causes a rift between the couple, but also their relationship with their son, and how it turns their surroundings into almost an alien environment. The film employs an interesting visual technique in that the entire film is composed in a split screen format, so we actually see two pictures at once side by side. Often one of these is from the viewpoint of the husband, played by Dario Argento, and the other is from the viewpoint of the wife, played by Françoise Lebrun. This film is quite a difficult one. It is complex, it is not cheery, it is not light-hearted. This is very much looking at the sadness and the bleakness of this situation of this wife who is suffering with dementia, and also this husband who has his own things going on in his life, and the son as well who has things going on. So I'm trying not to spoil things here, that's why I'm being very vague. But yeah, not a cheery one. I think it is superbly acted by the main three actors in the film, and that is the strongest merit of this film. It's the performances, because they are completely believable. The direction of the film, I think I am less so enamoured by. The split screen effect, I'm not sure entirely works all the time. I don't think it's actually warranted in a lot of the film. I almost wish it was employed during certain sequences and then it went away during others. I also think it's noticeable that the editing is not perfect in this film, because the director has even said that this was the shortest editing period that he ever had, and it was in a way almost rushed for release. I think he spent a few weeks editing the film. So Vortex isn't a film that I would say I enjoyed, because it isn't that kind of film that you would enjoy. I found it very moving, very impactful. The performances, like I said, are amazing, but some of the filmmaking choices I'm not sure work perfectly. But then again, I've seen many people praise this film very highly, so perhaps I'm in the minority there. But a great film nonetheless. And again, there are no special features on the Blu-ray from Picture House, unfortunately. So there you have it, the taste of things and some other films on Blu-ray from Picture House. I had such a great time watching all of these, and I absolutely love modern French cinema. I really do. I hope you enjoyed this video and those recommendations. If you'd like some more recommendations from me, then just watch the video that's presented on screen right now. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.